Hey church, I just want to take some time over the next few days to walk through some of the walk of Jesus with you. You're probably realizing at this point that Easter is probably not going to look like what we're used to it looking like. So what we want to do is we want to engage with you over the internet, over social media, and kind of help to build the story of Easter in a way that's more designed for social media than maybe what we could even do in a regular church service. And so we're going to start this journey here on Monday going through a little bit of John 12. In John 12, we get this really cool story where Pastor Gilbert's been talking about Lazarus and all of that. So following that story, Jesus is taking the time to sit and have dinner with Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. And John tells us that this is about 6 days before Passover. So this is the last week before the story of the crucifixion and the resurrection and all of what is the climax of the biblical story that we're getting ready to run into. And so we have this really cool story where as Jesus is preparing to have dinner, Mary does something really unorthodox. And Mary takes this time to sit down at the feet of Jesus. And she has this really expensive perfume, and she pours it out and she pours it on the feet of Jesus, and she lets down her hair and she wipes the feet of Jesus and this perfume with her hair. And there's a little bit of an exchange that happens with Judas afterwards because he's not thrilled that this is happening. He's the one who takes care of the money, and he realizes this is a really expensive perfume. You shouldn't be doing this, Mary. This is wasteful. This could have gone to the homeless or the hungry or whatever else. And so he has his concerns. But Jesus is more concerned about this moment and what's happening. And so here's what I want you to realize. Is in that moment, typically what happens is when a guest would come into a house, they would come in and you would take some perfume and you'd put that on their head and you would wash their feet. And what Mary's doing is totally unorthodox. What Mary's doing is she is taking not only this incredibly expensive perfume, but she's taking so much more of it than would normally be used and pouring that out on Jesus's feet. And then she lets down her hair and wipes Jesus' feet with that. So a few things here. As we are gathering and doing church different, as we're sitting in our living rooms with our families, engaging in a new way, here's what I want to encourage of you. To, in this moment, just like Mary, be willing to give your best to Jesus. Don't allow the moment, don't allow the dinner party to distract you from the fact that Jesus is present, that he is here with us. And in that moment, be willing to give him everything. Don't sit and be awkward just because you've never done this with your family before. This is a new experience for you to lead your family, and be willing to pour out everything, give everything, and lay it at the feet of Jesus. And here's what I love is Mary, when she let her hair down, this was wild for this time, for this culture. You wouldn't have done that. And she was willing to be undignified at the feet of Jesus. And that's why I'm going to be willing to step out of my comfort zone a little bit this coming Sunday. And as I'm worshiping, I'm going to be willing to dance with my kids and to get wild and to have fun and to just worship for all it's worth, recognizing the presence and the power of Jesus and not losing that in the moment and all the confusion and everything that's happening around us, but to just be present with Jesus and to give him everything, to lay it all at his feet and to be willing to be undignified in his presence. And I hope you can do the same. I hope this encourages you. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue to walk through the story of Jesus as we come into Easter. We'll see you then.